Good afternoon, everyone. Steve here. Still coming to you live from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Standing disclaimer applies. This is not personal financial advice. Do your own due diligence. More information is available at fairwealth.com. It's Friday afternoon. We're going to talk about three things. We are going to talk about earnings that we had that both yesterday and today. That'll be topic one. Topic two, what is the money flows doing? And I'll start to look better. Money flowing into the market because I think the market's going higher, or is money flowing out of the market because we've been in recession? We'll talk to that. And then lastly, for those who want to hang around and talk a little bit of Friday afternoon crypto, Ripple, which is XRP, had a very telling case today. It's not a watershed case, but it's certainly a step in the right direction where the SEC lost. Right? Remember, we talked been talking about for a month is Bitcoin, which I like better than the others for all the reasons I've already laid out, is has potential to go higher and significantly. From where we bought it, most of the accounts are up. If you're in the aggressive accounts, you're up 30% or so in your MSTR position. And I think that's just the beginning. It's going higher, and largely because if the SEC wins the cases, then crypto becomes the outlaw currency, and if it loses these cases, then crypto becomes legitimate, right? So, and Bitcoin is the way to go. So those are the three things we were talking about today. First up, the slide that you're looking at, the Dow closed up, had its best week since March. Kind of caught up to the S&P and the NASDAQ, which were up big for the rest of the week. They've sold off a little bit today. But really, it's on the back of solid earnings. So again, the big earnings that are up front are the Dow type earnings. Your big companies like Disney, JP Morgan, Delta Airlines, all of which are making money. Disney's still a hot mess, if you will. They still own ESPN. At least I was talking about, getting rid of it. It's been a continual loser for a long time. And some of I did some work there. I was a statistician for a long time. So, I've seen where there's more people working in the game for the crew than there are, people attending the game. Obviously, that doesn't work from a financial perspective. But Disney has a lot going on. They kept Iger on for another 2 years, extended his contract. It's like they can't find any balls. So I would say take any tech CEO and put him in charge of Disney. And of course, the pushback would be, well, they don't know entertainment and tech. And my answer would be, thank goodness, right? So if you keep the entertainment people in charge, you're going to get Disney that's not going to be able to get out of its own way, in my opinion. However, Disney is going to be a screaming buy if you have a replacement of the CEOs or a complete shift in the company. It's too hard not to make money with everything now going for it, but they find a way. Delta Airlines again making money. So are we going through a recession if the airlines are making money? I don't think so. JP Morgan again is sticking right along. IPO market starting back. A lot of positives in the FX world too. But with the big earnings we had this week, and as much as the market moved up, that's forecast that we're going to have more big earnings throughout earnings season. Right, we've got 6 weeks of this. So I think it's going to be pretty favorable, right? So I think the first half of the year, CEOs prepared for this moment. So, so did some layoffs, cut some costs, kind of reconfigured things and crushing it, right? Kind of like cut the fat sort of thing. So pretty excited to see what earnings season has to hold. And if all that's true, market goes higher. All right, let's talk about the second topic is what is big money doing? Well, here's your headline. This is tracked by ETFs, not individual stocks. Because there's a buyer and seller of each stock. Well, you can be buyers of ETFs, and then ETFs can balloon up and act after the buyer offer, right? So it's a little different the way it's measured. And the inflation going down to 3% on Wednesday or Thursday, whichever day it was, a pretty favorable market, a pretty favorable number, so the market seems higher. But here's what's really going on. And we talked about it at our investment advisory board a week and a half ago or so about we want to get longer in duration. Right? We still want the fixed income assets that are out there, but we want to try to lock in that interest rate longer, right? So a lot of money, $6 billion flowing into the S&P 500 this week. Again, vote of confidence, and then the rest of bond funds that are really looking to get away from the short-term inflation type bond trades, which we've been in, short-term CDs, things like that. USFR, JPST, or ticker symbols that you may have seen in your portfolios that are, again, just trying to capitalize and make some easy money, risk-free money off the short-term rate. Now it's time to lengthen that back out. locked. So that's what you're seeing going on your portfolios. It won't happen overnight. But if we're locked, if one of your CDs rolls over next week, that was a 6-month CD, probably going to be an 18-month CD, right? We're trying to lock in those that money. But all in all, the money's flowing into the market to the tune of 10 plus billion last week. So again, vote of confidence on is there going to be a recession if all of this money is flowing in? The masses are saying no, right? The professional, people that put money to work are saying no, right? Otherwise, there's the outflows. So just something to consider there. That again, mainstream media is pretty negative, and it's doom and doom with this recession. I'm still in the camp of I don't see it. I just don't see it. We got too many things going for us. All right, last one. If you don't like crypto, tune out now. But if you do like crypto, listen in. I'll make it short, right? So there's all these court cases that are out there. And again, I'm not pretending to be fluent in all of them. I'm not. But as in its entirety, it's the SEC versus crypto. And the crypto world is just looking for a definition. Are we a money? Are we security? How are we going to be regulated, right? Because that's really like if it were you, if you as a person with crypto, you'd be like, what are the rules of the game with which I want to play, right? That's all I want to know. Don't really care what I mean, you do care, but even if the rules are weird, it doesn't matter. It's like, okay, just publish them, right? So we can operate within them, right? That's all we're looking for. Well, Coinbase is up 20-some% this week because of the Ripple partial court victory. So let's get down here. And this quote, I'm going to try to highlight it for you. You may not be able to see it all the way. But Ripple is the first case the SEC has lost under its regulation via enforcement strategy. And that puts in doubt all the others that it has underway. Right? So it really forces now the SEC has a little bit of egg on their face as far as, now we can't just do whatever we want and we call it a security and and non-security all at the same time, right? So we got to make some rules. So it's not what happened in this court case isn't defining, but it is instrumental because of all of the change it's going to drive in future court cases, right? Because now there's a tiny bit of a precedent set. So all the lawyers from now on are going to be referencing that precedent that was set. So hopefully it clarifies. So again, what's do I like Coinbase? Not particularly. I don't personally invest in it. I have investors in it. Of course, it's gone parabolic here lately. But I like Bitcoin for all the reasons. It's finite, so it can't be manipulated, and we can't hold it outright because there's not a spot ETF out there. But the one I like is MSTR, MicroStrategy, 52-week high today. Here's the year-to-date chart, and here's where we started talking about it about a month ago. So again, it's only for the high-risk progressive strategies out there unless you're specifically asking for it. If you don't believe in crypto, don't invest in it. That's all I have to say. But I do think there's a very good case for it to be going higher. So that's all I've got. Monday morning, we are still here in Florida, finishing up volleyball. Then we have a couple other cities that we're coming to you live from on next year. So then we're finally back on. So thank you so much for listening. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday. Bye.